Okay, welcome to this guide. This one will be a tutorial for installing via the zip files. So that'll be the zip files for the Crucible core mod and the Crucible patch. If you'd rather use the installers, then the link to that video will be in the description of this one. So we'll go through where to get the files from, how to install the Tyranids mod, the Crucible core mod, and the Crucible patch, and then we'll go through some things that you need to do afterwards. Right, so if you choose to install via the zip method, a different set of files, you will go same as before, go to the Crucible's Discord page, go to Cruci download, and this time you'll download number 1, the Tyranid mod, 2B and 3B. So 2B is the core files and 3B is the patch. 2.03 at the moment, won't be that for long, but the process will be the same. So it is worth noting that the patches aren't sequential. So if you have 2.03 installed and then you come back a few months later and it's now 2.05, you do not have to install 2.04. Basically, as long as you have downloaded the core files, as long as it's the same starter number, so we're on V2, yeah, if you've got V2.03, you can install 2.07. Doesn't matter, just install whatever patch you are missing. So we are going to install via the zip method. So again, 3 files. This time we've got the Tyranid mod, but we now have 2 zip folders. So we have core files and we have the patch. So the order that we're going to install will be the Tyranid mod. It will be then the core files and then the patch. So Tyranid mod is pretty simple. Authorize it if you need to. I agree. Okay, so you'll navigate to your Soulstorm folder. So I do not have this in the standard place, which is in the C drive, then programs 86, Steam apps, etc. I have this in a separate hard drive. So for me, it's in my B drive, but after that, it's pretty similar to how it will be on your C drive. You've got your Steam library, Steam apps, common, Dawn of War, Soulstorm. So just select Soulstorm, don't go any further. Next. Right, okay, so you'll get to here. You need the mod, obviously, that's what we're here for. You don't need these requisites because we are not going to be playing the Tyranid mod on its own, so you can get rid of that, and you can get rid of the mod manager. We have a more up-to-date one in our files. So you just need the Tyranid mod. And that is a super quick install. Close it down. Part 1 done. So what you can do after you have installed the Tyranids mod is you can check that it's stored in the correct place by looking in your Soulstorm folder. So the way that the mods work is they have a mod folder or mod folders. In this case, we've got 2 mod folders, and then the modules, which will associate with each individual mod folder. So the Tyranids is Tyranids and Tyranids Art. The Tyranids version 0.5b2 only had the Tyranids folder. So if you've somehow not used our links and got the wrong Tyranids version, you will only have the Tyranids folder. If you download the 0.5b3, you'll have both. So Tyranids, Tyranids Art, and then the associated modules, so Tyranids and Tyranids Art. So if you see these, you know that you've done it correctly. And I guess as a final check, Tyranids mod should be 20.7 meg, and the Tyranids Art should be 369 meg. So when you get used to installing, you don't need to, check these folders, check the sizes between between installs, but if you're having issues or you just want to be careful, you can check that. If you see the folders and you check the size and everything's correct, then you know you are onto a winner. Okay, so there's two methods to do this. You can extract directly to the correct place by using extract files, in which case you will put in your correct address, extract and replace files and ask for overwrite, press OK, and it will extract it all just directly into the Soulstorm folder. The reason I'm not going to do that is because I am going to do it by extracting here into the downloads folder and then just copying and pasting them into the Soulstorm folder. The reason I'm going to do that is so that you can see exactly what's happening. Okay, so worth noting I'm using WinRAR. So we are going to use extract to and then the Crucible Mod v2. Basically what this is going to do is it's going to extract everything but put it in a folder with this name. So it just keeps everything together. Okay, so nearly done. As you can see, it's taken me 1 minute 40. Mine is a powerful computer. It might take other people 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, depending on how old your machine is. Okay, so you can see that we had the core file zip, and we now have that unpacked to a folder with the identical name. So, big point, you don't copy this into the Soulstorm folder. Okay, we need to go into it. Okay, and then same as when we installed the Tyranid mod, we can remember that we were checking the mod folder and the modules. So you'll see when we come into it, we've got the Crucible mod and the Crucible mod module, and we also have the Chaos Demons mod and the Chaos Demons module, along with Mod Manager, some engine adjustments, and the auto exec file. So what we are going to do is we're going to copy these, and we are going to paste into our Soulstorm folder. Okay, so don't worry if it says that you need to replace a few files. They may be there from a different mod, or they may be there because, like me, I forgot to delete some of the files for this demonstration. So, but yeah, don't worry about this at all. Replace the files in the destination. Cool. And now we can see that we've got the Chaos Demons and the Crucible mod. And we have the Crucible mod module and the Chaos Demons module. We've got the Mod Manager. I've got an older version here as well. And we have the auto exec. So we can see that it's all worked. If you want to be double sure, we can check the size of the Crucible mod folder. So this is without the patch. We are at 9.44 gigabytes. And then exactly the same for the patch. We can delete this. Okay, so same as last time, we will extract to a folder with a duplicated name. This will be pretty quick. It's much smaller than the core files. And once again, we go into it. We have some updated files, but most of the stuff is in the Crucible mod, most of the changes. But once again, we just copy and we go back into the Soulstorm folder and we paste. Okay, so unlike the core files, when you install the patch, you will definitely get this page. And it's basically saying that we're going to be overwriting a load of files. That is correct. That is the point of the patch. So replace the files in the destination. And we are done. So we won't see any additional folders or anything. But what we will see is a size increase on the Crucible mod. So at the moment, we are on patch 2.03. And the correct size for this patch is 9.75 gig. So if you check here, you know for sure that everything is correct. And once again, I recommend that now that you've installed it, go to downloads and delete the unpacked files, just to save space. And then I'd recommend that you just keep these somewhere on your hard drive, so if you need to reinstall, you don't have to re-download. Okay, it is worth noting that I use WinRAR, so when I right-click, I have these, which have been added by the WinRAR program. Works just as well with WinZip, 7-zip. Just if you're using a different program, I can't say exactly how to use it. Just find the option that unzips it into a folder so that you can then click into it and it keeps everything together. Okay, so once you've done the install, I'm just going to delete this old version of the mod manager. Okay, so once you've done the full install and maybe you've confirmed that the size is correct, what we're going to do is we are going to open up the mod manager. Now, when using mods, I'd always recommend that you use the mod manager to load the game, unless we're using DowOnline for multiplayer, but I'll talk about that later. So what I do is I then, I pin it to the taskbar. So as you can see down here, I do have the mod manager on my taskbar, so it's always available. Okay, let's click into this. So this shows all of your installed mods. So I've got unification here as well. So you'll see Chaos Demons, Tyranids, and the Crucible Mod v2. So they're the 3 mod folders that I've discussed during the installation. Don't worry about seeing red entries in the Tyranids and the Chaos Demons. These only need to be sorted if you want to play them standalone, which I don't know anyone that does that or why you would want to. But if you go to the Crucible Mod v2, you will see everything is green. That's what you want. Now, if you haven't done this yet, you will see that the text here is red. That means your LLA is inactive. What the LLA does is it unlocks more RAM. So the game, when it was made, only used 2 gigs of RAM. Click on this, and there'll be a small patch installed or files edited, whatever it is, that will allow 4 gigs of RAM to be used. Because this is a 32-bit game, that is the most RAM that it can understand and use. So this is absolutely critical. Make sure that you do have the green options. The options here, what I would recommend that you do is tick developers mode. What that means is that if you have a crash, you will be able to go into your Soulstorm folder, go into your log files, and you will have basically all of the log files from every game you've played. If you sort so that the newest ones are at the top, and you've just had a crash, this will be your most recent log files. You can then just use the second option to add it into a zip file, and then if you come to the Discord forum, you can give us that and we can use it to find out what the issue is. What else? No movies, if you want to get rid of them. If you want to play campaign, I would click disable fog. That will get rid of the fog in the campaign. And then you have a few graphics and PC performance stuff. You can experiment with these. This first option, this high poly models, will basically mean that when you zoom out, you'll still be rendering higher quality models. You probably won't be able to see a difference, but it may tank your PC's performance, so I tend to keep that off. And theoretically, this set to highest thread priority can sometimes help some people get better performance. You can experiment with this, see if it makes anything better. And then start the mod. So during installation, at this point, I would start the mod once, just check that it opens correctly. I am playing on a Steam install, so I just need to press yes. So we have the Crucible Mod loading page. It will take longer the first time, but after you've ran it for the first time, it will load up considerably quicker. So what it is doing is just loading all of the files into RAM. So when you turn your computer on for the first time, every day, you will have a longer load time, but when you load it for the second time, it will be much quicker. Okay, so we can see here the Crucible mod 2.03. So we know that we are running the patch version that we're expecting. What I do now is quit out. So all we've done there is just confirmed that, yeah, we have had a correct installation. At this point, go back to your Soulstorm folder and go to the graphics config. And optimal configuration, next. Choose your graphics card. Not quite sure why my graphics card is shown up 3 times. Next, choose the resolution. I'm in 4K. If you do play in 4K, you will see that the text is tiny. There is a mod on our website linked on our Discord that you can force the text to be bigger. Press test. OK. Wait a few seconds and you should see a bit of test footage. Did it display correctly? Yes, it did. And if you want to run it in a window, you can. Next and finished. So when I load up the game just to test, my resolution was already set correctly, but if you load it up and it's in a super low resolution, don't worry, this is where you'll fix it. Okay, so if you are wanting just to play the game without multiplayer, you are done. Go back to opening the game using the mod manager. Okay, so if you are going to be wanting to play multiplayer, then I would recommend loading the game with DowOnline. The Steam servers are pretty awful. You'll have lots of issues with preloading, and during the game, people will go out of time. You'll have sync errors. It's pretty bad. So if you want to use DowOnline, just Google Dawn of War DowOnline. And you will get this top result, which will be a Russian site. So you'll see here, dowonline.ru. Click onto that. You can either get the installer or download the zip. I would download the zip. Less issues with antivirus software. So let's just click on that. We will download that. And when you come into your downloads, you will see DowOnline latest. So once again, same as we've been doing. Extract to DowOnline latest. Use that last option so it keeps it all in a folder. And we have the unpacked folder. So if you come into here, you will see a load of stuff. Come back out, copy this, and paste it to wherever you want. What I tend to do to keep it close to Soulstorm, I go to Soulstorm, and then I just back up to the common folder that Soulstorm's inside of, and I just paste it here. So we'll see, DowOnline here. I've already got it. Same again, as I did with the mod manager, I tend to put it at the bottom. So if you want to do that as well, this is the application, right click and pin to taskbar. Okay, so let's start off by loading DowOnline up. So double click the application or click wherever you've got it shortcutted, and here it is. So it's a nice simple app. So first off, just check the server status. So if the server status has a green circle here, that means the server is up. If it's red, the server is down. So it does go down occasionally, but it's usually fixed pretty quick. Just beneath that, you can choose which mod DowOnline is going to launch. So I've got a couple here. I've got Unification, but we'll be loading up the Crucible mod. And then you can just confirm that the Soulstorm folder has been correctly displayed here. And then a few other things just to sort out. Firstly, in settings, just make sure that the new message sound notification is unticked. This will be ticked as standard. What this does is stops the app beeping every time somebody writes in the text box. So unless you want incessant beeping, make sure that's unticked. After that, you can download the maps if you want. I've already downloaded them, but if you haven't, this will say install, not repair. So you can either do them individually or tap download all maps. Some of these are great maps, so certainly recommend downloading these. Next, you can go into patches. So the way the Soulstorm multiplayer works is that you need to have all 4 of the games in your Steam library in order to use the races that they introduced in multiplayer. So for example, if you want to play as Imperial Guard, you'll need to have Winter Assault in your Steam library. So either you can use this to unlock all the races in multiplayer, or you can be a good person and just buy all the games. And then finally, go into Fix Game Errors and just confirm that the Check Patch 1.2 Integrity has a green box with OK inside. If it doesn't, then there will be a fix icon here. And that is everything. So just tap on this, launch the game, and you will see that in the multiplayer section in the game, there will be a new option there called DowOnline. Press launch game. Okay, so when Crucible Mod loads up, you'll see there is now a difference. We now have in multiplayer, if you load up the Crucible Mod via the mod manager, you will not have DowOnline here. But when you load it up via DowOnline, this option will appear. Tap on that, and then we have just an alternate way of hosting games. This looks pretty similar to the Steam version, but this is infinitely more stable. As long as everyone is running exactly the same files, so everyone has installed the game correctly and is on the same patch, pretty much no issues. You will now just be held back by people with bad internet. But no, if everyone's got semi-decent internet, you will have great experiences. Okay, thank you very much. That's everything. If you have any issues, come to the Crucible's Discord page. This is pretty much our main place, apart from our YouTube channel. You have the tech support if you need it. News, where you can see upcoming content. This is all stuff from the upcoming Space Marine chapter update. This is all stuff that's in the game already. You will have the documentation page where we have things like the patch notes. We have useful things like detectors and anti-demon weapons. We've got some links to various maps and frequently asked questions, which is some stuff that a lot of people have issues with. We have then the mod discussions and feedback, which is kind of the main area. So each race has its own page, along with general discussion, heroes, titans. So if you've got any feedback, any questions, you want tactics, tips, just have a chat, and there'll be loads of people to help you. And then we also, when we're doing PvP games, we do have channels for chatting with other people. So yeah, thank you very much, and enjoy the game.